Welcome to Joke Insurance, where we show you jokes from different comedians that are suspiciously similar and let you decide joke theft, parallel thinking, time travel. Joining me today, all the way from Monaghan in lockdown, is Gerard Ryan. How are you today, Gerard?
Fantastic. It's great to be here, Tarek. Thanks for having me on. It's much appreciated.
Good. So, how's lockdown treating you?
Desperately. I can't stand it. I just can't wait to get back to normal. Not the new normal. Normal. Because it's getting wild at this point. Like, I need a fucking haircut as well. So
Lift the lockdown so poor Gerard can get himself a haircut and save us all. All right. You ready to watch some videos?
Yep.
Okay, great. So first, we're going to watch a clip from Jefferies from 2009, and then we wind back to 2002 to watch Doug Stanhope.
I got myself the Jenna Jameson rubber vibrating vagina. On the side of the box said vibrate so as to give realistic sensation. Realistic if you're fucking a chick with Parkinson's, but not realistic.
To make it realistic. That's what it says on the box. A realistic, vibrating, maybe you have some epileptic fantasy.
I got the rubber cutter, had a vibrating egg that went in the end with a cord with a remote control.
Chrome egg on a cord, and it's got a little control, and it vibrates. So you put it in the fucking hole, and it makes the whole head vibrate.
Now, as I've already mentioned, I don't have a big cock. I think the rubber cunt was faulty, because as I'm fucking it, the latex on the top just sort of tears, and the egg falls out the end.
This is a manufacturing flaw. I got a little dick.
I still had a lot of lube, I still had a lot of porn, and I still had a vibrating egg. So I did what anyone in this room would do. I lubed that egg up and shoved it up my ass.
What would you do? You'd put it on the shelf. You'd throw it away, and then you jack off the old-fashioned way with that vibrating egg in your ass. That's what I thought, too, exactly.
In one motion, I snapped this egg out of my ass. Followed by 2 feet of shit.
Evidently, when I yanked that vibrating egg out of my ass, a small dollop of poop trailed after it like a needy child. And now it's sitting there at the foot of my bed, and it's splattered all over the wall.
Gerard, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this one's probably the most blatant of them all, because it's like not only are they using like the sex toy, but it's nearly word for word. I mean, they're replacing like 1 or 2 words, but like they both say it's very realistic. I think Stanhope says it's like having sex with somebody with epilepsy, and Jefferies says it's like having sex with somebody with Parkinson's. And then when he says then he addresses the audience the exact same way Stanhope does, to say like, what would you do? He would say, you're gonna stick it up your ass. It was as blatant as you could be, really, and the fact like Stanhope addressed it as well at one point, saying that like he does like him, but he did steal his joke. It was just, Jeffrey's just,
Okay, so that's but you couldn't give Jefferies the benefit of the doubt on this one. I mean, we've all been there, you shove a vibrating egg up your ass and then lots of shit comes out when you pull it out. It's a very common premise, isn't it?
That's what I was thinking, because like when it comes to sticking something up your ass, we all have a story. It's just that it's more so how it's told. And
then there's that same like ending. It's a weird bit to take off from someone else, isn't it? Like, it's quite an unusual, because it's I don't know, it's kind of not my style of home. But the reason I sort of it stands out as well is that it's just so Doug Stanhope. Like I really like him as a comedian. And when you see him doing this routine, it's true. Like you could just picture him there. He's kind of authentic on stage, and you buy into the story a lot more because you know that he's telling you what happened to him. Like and that's kind of why it's funny. It's
like it's a Doug Stanhope joke. You know what I mean? And it was just in my opinion, it's completely guilty. Absolutely.
How important do you think is authenticity in comedy? Like, are you deceiving the audience if you make up a story?
if you're going to be a comic and have like hours of material, I think at some point you have to make up some kind of stories. Like, I have a lot of jokes about being a stepdad, and they're pretty much 100% of them are not true. But I am a stepdad, you know. So it's just and I make up these stories to make myself look like a bad stepfather. So it's just I kind of have to make up these stories if I want to be a bad stepfather on stage. So it's like no, I think that making up stories is fine, and stealing stories not so much.
If I'm going to tell you a story and I say like, oh, this happened to a friend of my sister's, it just sounds a lot better if I just go like, stuff it happened to me or whatever. And it's just a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, you leave that bit out. And I think there's, you know, audience generally knows, you make up stuff all the time when you're on stage, but there is a place where some of the stories like this, when I watch Doug Stanhope, I love it because it's, you know that it's true. You watch it and Doug's that kind of character. And that's what's funny about it, because it feels like that's his style. It feels like you're in the pub telling stories. Is this guy drinking on stage with everyone else and telling you this funny story that happened to him? And that does add to the humor. So if Doug turned around and then just goes like, oh, I made that whole bit up, I would feel let down in that situation.
Yeah. Like when you're on stage, you can have some kind of a character. The stories that I tell on stage that are true, they make me look like a weirdo or a freak. So I kind of want to keep that going. So if we tell them about being a stepdad, I don't want to say, oh yeah, but I'm a great stepdad too, you know. If I'm gonna be a bastard on stage, I'm gonna commit to it, you know. So I'll make some shit up to make myself look bad. I know it sounds a bit weird, but I just like doing that.
You don't have to make stuff up to make yourself look bad, Gerard. I think just be yourself. That's the job.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so that's 2 thumbs down from the in-house comedians. You ready to watch another comparison?
Yep.
Okay, here's a very short one, but it's first up, we'll watch Dan Nolan, This American. Don't know when he did it. And then Glenn Wool from 2011. Have a look.
Found out recently that penguins mate for life. I wish somebody had told me that before I fucked all those penguins. They will not leave me alone.
Some of us want us to be like swans and mate for life. Have you heard that lie? It's not true. They fly away as soon as you let them go. With the look on their face, it suggests they're not coming back. Never take bread from a man with a little hat. It just makes you sleepy.
Click the little eye here and let us know about those 2 examples, if you think that's a case of joke theft or not, and then leave your reasons why in the comments below. Gerard, what about this one?
Yeah, this one's a lot harder because it's I think like if somebody's going to come up with a joke about like animals mating for life, it's either going to go of one or 2 ways, and it's either you have sex and they're going to stay with you for life, or you're going to have sex with them and they're going to walk away, so it's a lie. So for this one here, like I'll be fairly lenient on it. It's and again, I think the lad Dan Nolan, the first lad, like his joke was so quick that it's like nearly the whole like start, middle, and finish is kind of done within 10 seconds. The second lad, Glenn Wool, he kind of drags it out a little bit more, so he can add more bits to the story or to the joke, which kind of makes it a lot different from Dan's.
The premise is essentially the same, because the joke is that twist that birds mate for life, and then the twist is that you fucked a bird, and they have their different take on it. And I like both deliveries, by the way, of I really like that really short, just one-liner, and then also that funny story that was played out with the swans. And you could easily see how someone could sort of hear this joke, internalize the premise, then invent it a while later. But it could also easily be just 2 independent people coming up with this premise of playing around with that idea that birds mate for life, and the assumption in the lessoner is obviously that birds mate with each other. So yeah, I would for me, I mean, I saw these clips and they remind me of each other, but always in my mind was like, there was never a red flag of like, someone's ripped the other person off. It was just like, I know, here's two people coming up with a premise. I would definitely give them the benefit of the doubt on that one.
So it gets off with a warning then, yeah?
I wouldn't even say a warning. I like to show illustrations of, because you need to look at both sides of the line to then kind of narrow down on where you think the line is and why. And I think that's has to be taken into consideration, like the history of the comedian, you know. So neither of these guys are big, obviously, but like Glenn Wool plays on some big stages, and you know, he's never been accused, as far as I know, of like flogging material. He's probably came first. It was 2011. All right, so I want to show you another one. This is a little bit different. I'm just going to show you a bit of a song that's very well known, and then afterwards is just one comedian's account of them doing the bit years ago. So check it out.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
This your water?
Fucking Leary.
Is this your water?
Fucking talentless cunt. Because, well, when I was a young fella starting in Boston, I guess I was like 19 or 20. 19. And I was doing my signature bit, the bit I closed with, was a bit about if you were an asshole and you knew it, and how cool it would be to just say, I'm an asshole, and just let yourself have that life, that your life would be better. Like you're driving, you go, hey, should I cut that guy off? Yeah, I'm an asshole. Why not?
I drive really slow in the ultra-fast lane while people behind me are going insane.
Park in a handicap space, only an asshole would do that. Fuck it, I'll do it. I'm an asshole. That's me. And he said they should have like a picture of an asshole instead of a wheelchair, and just make those the asshole spaces. And the whole bit.
Sometimes I park in handicapped spaces while handicapped people make handicapped faces. I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole.
Anyway, so one night, doing a show at a place called Play It Against Sam's in Boston, and Denis is the host of the show. He was a huge star in Boston at the time, and on the comedy circuit, and he went on after me. He was always nice to me, by the way. Put me on the shows when I wasn't on them.
Should be.
Gave me guest spots. And then that night, he went on after me, after I'd done the asshole bit, and like went, that's really funny, and like remarked on it. And expounded on it, like, yeah, like, I'll do this because I'm an asshole, and I'll do that because I'm an asshole. Like, he just started.
He actually started riffing
on my bit, but acknowledging that he just watched me do it. Which is, I think, is okay. And then, I don't know, a month later or something, I'm downstairs at Sam's. I just walk in, and he's just doing the bit. He just started doing it. And I was young and just started out, and I was like, well, he's huge.
Wow, I'm flattered.
What do I do? Well, and I remember thinking to myself, well, that's weird that he would steal. It's too bad that he has to. I'm tired of the bit myself. I felt like I'd outgrown it, and so I just thought, I think I just let it go, and I did.
So again, at home, click the little eye here. Let us know what you think in the poll. Gerard, how about this one?
Yeah, this is a weird one because there's no video of it. I think that this is more of a case of O'Leary's reputation, kind of like that's what you're going on more than anything, because he's known for like stealing bits and fucking Bill Hicks's persona pretty much. So like when you hear this, it's you kind of allow yourself to go along with it, because the thing is, even if the story's not true, it's a very funny story. So I remember hearing it, I just pissed myself laughing. But it's, again, because there's no evidence of Louis actually doing the bit, you kind of just have to take either the word of, like, Denis Leary, who's, like, discredited.
That was my gut reaction as well, is that when you look at it in the broader context, it seems to make sense. You hear Louis C.K. and that whole thing about, if you're an arsehole and you just go, fuck it, and park in handicapped spaces. that's so Louis C.K. Like I could, even his later stuff, you could imagine him doing that piece. It's very him. And then you put that in the context of a known joke thief. People can make stuff up. People can have false memories, all this sort of stuff. So many reasons. But in my gut, I'd just go, oh yeah, he ripped it off, and Louis is just coming out with it years later. Yeah. That's what you get for creating that reputation for yourself.
Have you ever found yourself like with jokes like that you used and then you realized that it sounds way too similar to another comic, so you had to scrap it?
Yeah, a couple of times. And
heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. Normally I'm happy to scrap it because it hasn't happened with like a piece I'm really attached to. Just Denis Leary, you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, or does he get the thumbs down?
Yeah, he has to get the benefit of the doubt, because again, it's just Louis' word. Just without any video evidence, you can't really bury Denis over this now.
That's
so
right.
He's innocent.
So in the court of law, we let him free, but in our hearts, we know you're a dirty, dirty joke thief. So thanks for joining us today, Gerard. Where can people find you?
Just Gerard Ryan on Facebook, and I'm going to be starting a podcast within the next 2 weeks. It's going to be called Truly Awful Podcast, and I'm going to be having James Barron on for the first episode. So
we'll leave links to that in the description. And you at home, if you ever see some footage you'd like me to take a look at, send it in, because I'd love to get more examples of this similar joke telling. Just before I let you go, Gerard, do you have joke insurance?
Ever since I subscribed to joke insurance, my jokes are insured. So thanks very much, Terry.
Great. You're welcome. And you too at home, you can be insured against joke theft just by subscribing to this channel, giving it a like, and that's it. You're insured. Anyone ever tries to rip off some of your material, just let us know and we'll put it up.